This is me losing to Drake of the Hoenn Elite Four. Why? Because I want his team, and I don't want to work for it. Most people would see this cool squad and spend hours breeding, catching, and training Pokemon to replicate it. And in Gen 3, that's quite a tall order. But me? I'm gonna steal it. Wait, how did that steal Pokemon? Okay, so a few weeks ago, I saw this comment in the Glitch City Discord, and I couldn't get the thought of it out of my head. Stealing Pokemon is such a common thought / fantasy, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because a lot of gym leaders and Elite Four members have rare Pokemon, or because of the pronounced animation for when you try to steal one. In fact, this thought is so pervasive that the Pokemon Company even made 2 games just about stealing. Coliseum and XD were built on this concept. Though, you're stealing Pokemon from bad guys, so it's okay, I guess? I wanted to bring this concept to Emerald, and since it was asked in the Glitch City Discord, ideally I'd be using some kind of glitch. And after a little bit of experimenting, arbitrary code execution is in fact what I landed on. This is a glitch that lets you do anything. It's kind of like putting an action replay into your game, but with no hacking, just glitching. Which are different, comments section. Anyway, the short of it is, this Pokemon, 40E9, has a glitch animation on its summary screen that causes the game to freak out and start reading your Pokemon box names as GBA assembly code. So if we write clever box names, we'll get whatever outcome we want. Now, I'm not that experienced with Ace, and it is actually fairly different than any of the programming I've done for the Nintendo e-reader. That's both because it's an ARM, not thumb, and because there is a very limited instruction set that is available to us. We only have these commands to work with, which, if you've ever done any programming, is not a lot. But I think I should be able to do what I want with it. Most Ace codes are more complex than what I'm trying to do here anyway. My first thought was to try and turn the current battle from a trainer battle into a wild battle. So I could just catch whatever was there. The game defines what type of battle we have in this area of RAM. It's called G battle type flags. After some investigation, when you're in a battle with a wild Pokemon, the number there is 4, and when you're in a trainer battle, the number there is C. And if I change it from a C to a 4 while I'm mid-battle, bingo, we can catch the trainer's Pokemon. Oh, it's a bad egg. Well, I guess this makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. You might think, what's the big deal? A Pokemon is a Pokemon. We can just take it. But clearly that's not the case. You see, when you capture a Pokemon, 2 things happen. The battle ends. This means if you want any other Pokemon in the party, you have to re-battle the trainer, which is sometimes impossible, like with Steven in Emerald. And then 2, the Pokemon's trainer info is matched to yours, like its trainer ID, or what Pokeball you caught it in, or your trainer gender. Problem 1 is a small hiccup at worst, but problem 2, that's a big deal. This is a Pokemon. Well, this is its data, anyway. This section up here is the start of its data structure. It contains the Pokemon's personality ID, its trainer ID, secret ID, nickname, language, if it's an egg or not, and its trainer's name. Just below that are the 4 Pokemon substructures, which contain the Pokemon's, shall we say, sensitive data. Things like EVs, IVs, species, basically everything else about the Pokemon. And in order to make sure that you could not use an action replay or something to mess with this sensitive data, Game Freak encrypted it and added a checksum. So whenever the game needs to update a Pokemon, let's say it's EVs, which are here, it needs to decrypt this data. To do that, it will perform a bitwise operation called an exclusive OR, aka an XOR. It will use your Pokemon's TID and SID and XOR that against its own PID. Then, once it has the results from that XOR, the game decrypts it by XORing the substructures 4 bytes at a time using that key. But, catching a Pokemon changes its trainer ID to be yours. Normally, this isn't a problem. All wild Pokemon have your trainer ID and secret ID before you catch them, so nothing would be broken. But trainer Pokemon have a randomly generated trainer ID and secret ID. This is probably to solve 2 problems. 1, I'm sure it's to prevent stealing, but 2, it's actually a shiny lock, because otherwise trainer's Pokemon could be shiny against your trainer ID and secret ID. And that's why we have a bad egg here. The decryption failed because the encryption key changed, because we changed his trainer ID and secret ID. So all of the data became garbled. Okay, but I have seen codes that do this for the action replay. How are they getting around the encryption? Well, as a cheating device would, it cheats. Devices like the Action Replay and GameShark intercept code from the game and modify it before it's sent to the GBA. It's like doing a ROM hack on the fly. With arbitrary code execution, we really don't have that kind of power. ROM code, read-only memory, is not modifiable in any way to us unless we use an external device, which that defeats the whole purpose, right? Well, capturing seems to be out the window then, right? But surely the game has a function to copy a Pokemon from one place to another while keeping its trainer ID and secret ID intact. You'd think to do this I would meticulously search the game's function in some sort of intelligent way. Nope. I open a list of all the game's functions and type copy in the search bar and just check until I see something that looks promising. It's kind of a lazy brute force method, but it works sometimes. And while doing this, I found what I had hoped was the holy grail. Copymon to PC. This function does what it says on the tin. It copies a Pokemon from the location that you specify and moves it to your PC. So the ACE code I need to write will need to set up the location for the Pokemon in the registers, tell the game the location of the function I want to jump to, and then I will need to exit cleanly from the glitch moment. And it works! At first I thought you'd have to run this code mid-battle, since surely Game Freak clears enemy RAM after a battle ends. But nope, after a battle ends, the entire party is just left in enemy RAM, ripe for the taking. This spot only gets cleared when a new battle starts, so you can copy the Pokemon whenever you want. There is a big issue though. The code kind of runs infinitely. You see, the glitch animation plays, run my code, then comes back to the Pokemon, where it then plays the glitch animation, and then runs my code again, and rinse and repeat, and rinse and repeat. I spent hours trying to debug this. It is so close. Normally, ACE codes have what's referred to as an exit code. This forces us to leave the summary screen so that the code will stop and the game doesn't crash. But whenever I jump to an exit code, the game crashes. I cannot for the life of me figure out what the problem is. If you're fast enough with the menu closed, you'll only get like 5 or 6 Pokemon. Yeah, they'll all be clones and it'll be kind of annoying, but it's not so bad, right? Well, the reason this is slightly concerning is that if you just let it run, it will fill up every box in the game, and then when the boxes are full, the game crashes because it doesn't know where to put the Pokemon. I think I messed up the stack during this code, so I either had to shelve this idea or just release it as is and tell people, you gotta be quick about it, here you go. I even tried a bunch of different options. Maybe I could copy them to the daycare. There's only 2 slots. Surely it wouldn't try to put a Pokemon in daycare slot 3, which doesn't exist. Nope, the game crashes. Maybe I could copy them to the save data buffer manually. Nope, crash. Then all my other alternatives were bunk. Maybe I could call a memory copy code. Nah, I can't set up register 0, register 1, register 2, and ACE can't access them. It was all kind of looking downhill, and the reason this was so challenging was because I didn't want this to be more than one code. Maybe I could write a code that's like 3 or 4 codes long, but that's kind of tedious. And as I was wrapping up, ready to shelve this idea, I realized, wait, I have done this before already, with the Nintendo e-reader. The Celebi and Jirachi events that I made have you catch a Ghetto Celebi and channel Jirachi. These are events from bonus discs and Pokemon Channel, some extra game that kind of sucks. But these, like most events, have a set trainer ID and secret ID that aren't yours. And you're catching them. And they would bad egg here too, for the exact same reasons I described earlier in the video. And my solution was actually to let the game do that, but then make a clean copy after the battle directly into your party over the bad egg. If I can write a code or something that copies what's in enemy RAM into your party, I think this would work. So I did this with the e-reader in a quick prototype, and yup, it works. This is the entire team of a trainer that I just fought. The downside? Well, I deleted my entire party by doing this copy. That's okay, with some good planning, I'll just bring a sacrificial fellow before taking the party to the stealing NPC, and voila. Now, how do I fit this into an ACE code? Well, I'm not. This was just meant to be a silly little project that I would turn into a quick video, and I have spent far too long on it already, so I'm keen to just keep it as is, and for the ACE code, make you hit B pretty quickly. So I'll go over some of the stuff that you can do with this and how you can use the code and the e-card. For the code, you're going to type everything out in your box names like normal. Here it is on screen. I'll also leave the eShark generator code in the description down below. If you've never set up Ace before, you can check out these videos from Papa Hefe. They're great. You can also change which Pokemon the opponent copies in the eShark generator by adding 100 to this value up until you're at 600. Now, once it's typed out, you're going to want to set your boxes to a fully empty one if you have it, just for convenience because you'll get more than one Pokemon. After that, get into a battle with whatever trainer that you want from anywhere. It could be one from the Frontier, from the Elite Four, from a secret base. And actually, it even works on wild Pokemon, which could be useful for reclaiming a failed shiny, as long as you don't get into another battle. Then, you need to end the battle. You can win, lose, or forfeit, it does not matter. But after that, do not get into another battle. Open your Ace Pokemon and hit B immediately. You should have a couple of the Pokemon from the trainer in the PC now. The e-card works exactly the same way as the Ace code, except you don't have to type any box names in. So, first what you want to do is get into a battle with whoever's party that you want to steal, and then end the battle. Again, win, lose, draw, does not matter. Just do not get into another battle after it ends. Then fly to Lava Ridge Town and go into the Pokemon Center and talk to this NPC. Now, your entire party will be deleted, and you will have the enemy trader's party. So what you're going to want to do is go to the PC and swap out to some sort of sacrificial Pokemon beforehand, so your important fellows don't get deleted. Here's me getting Drake in the Elite Fours team. Both codes even work on link matches. I'll reiterate, this will work on any battle, trainer, wild, frontier, etc. You could use the code or the card to catch shiny Pokemon from the Battle Tower or Battle Palace/Pyramid. You could even use it to steal rentals from the Battle Factory. I think the best way to use this is probably stealing high streak Pokemon from the Frontier, since they will have all 31 IVs, but whatever floats your boat will do. I hope everyone enjoyed this little project. If anyone ends up using it, tag me on Bsky, Discord, or Twitter. I'd love to see what you do. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye!